Hello everybody, Conductor here, back in Assetto Corsa. Today we're looking at a new mod that you've probably already guessed. It is racing karts. There is 4 different versions, a 50cc, 100cc, 150cc, and a 150cc shifter kart turbo. So far I have driven the naturally aspirated 3, and preliminary findings are that they are fantastic. Easily one of the most exciting additions to the game so far for me. That might seem a little strange considering some of the awesome stuff that has been added, but I have long waited for a decent kart racing sim, and I think this may be as close as I've ever seen to something resembling a kart racing sim. There are some games in development that I've been really eyeing and waiting for, but I am impatient, so I want to give this a try. We're starting with the 50cc. Got a 5-minute qualifying session going on right now. Let's head on track and give it a try. Show you what it's like. These are not shifter karts, so they use... Oh, 1 second. Oh, a little problem getting on the track there. I was curious how the AI would work. Oh, hi there. They're not very good at avoiding people that are trying to change their settings. So one thing I definitely recommend... Okay, I'll get out of the track. Is to go to onboard settings. I think a pitch of about 12 is good. And it gets that mirror out of my way. And then this is the Sonoma Grand Prix track, which is a very short karting facility. The mod is available on Race Department. The tracks are not, which leads me to believe they're probably ports from something else. So I will unfortunately not be able to provide a link to the tracks, but I will have a link to the car download, or karts. So it's really, when I watched the videos of the first videos that started coming out with this mod, it looked like maybe it was not very realistic, but I think it's just the funny way that karts drive and handle that looks so foreign that it makes it look unrealistic. Because when you start driving them, I have very little karting experience, but I can tell you, they handle pretty much exactly like you would predict them to. So all the braking is going to be, or most of the braking feels like is in the rear, so you really steer the car with the brakes. The way the gearing is close. I wouldn't say it's perfect. There seems to be a little bit too much engine drag when you lift off the throttle. I would expect there to be virtually none. The way it winds up and the way you really have to gauge your momentum is pretty spot on, and it's something I've long wanted to try. I have always wanted to get into karting, but the money's never been there, and it's not exactly the safest sport in the world, so it wasn't something my parents always were into financing. That's about max speed for the 50cc on this track. This is a rather short one, and I found that the 50cc to the 150cc, only about a second and a half difference in time. So not too dramatic. You don't really have to worry about wheel spin. You just gotta worry about keeping it wound up. You don't want to be off the throttle for very long. You don't want to be sliding, because that's going to ruin your momentum. Currently sitting 8th, so the AI are doing really well with them, other than that whole getting on the track part. The karting is such a fundamental part of road racing and just early driver development that I think it's been a real shame that there hasn't been any very good karting sims out there. We're about done with qualifying now. And up 9th. I've got them on 100% difficulty, so I assume it won't be a pushover. Just squeeze in a little bit more practice here. I just jumped out of the 150cc, which is a little bit different. Yeah, that's all it's going to give me, huh? Alright. 9th place. not terrible, not great. Alright, here we go. Getting ready for the race. Not sure if I'm going to have to shift into first gear or not. Yeah, it starts a little weird. I think it's because the game doesn't have a clutch type of transmission to be used as a model. They're basically just replicating that with a standard single-speed transmission with a obviously very long first gear. So that is the one part that it's not exactly true to life, like the fact that I can use the clutch pedal and whatnot. But as long as you restrain yourself from using such things, you can replicate it pretty well. So gained quite a few spots on the first lap there. One thing I've noticed is that it's very hard to kind of get an advantage with these against the AI, because they are so perfect. They take the same line every lap, and they don't just make the little mistakes that a human would make. I would say this would be a highly competitive form of multiplayer racing, but probably not a highly competitive form of AI racing. But more than anything, I just want to kind of give the mod a little preview, review type of thing, and see if there is a future for kart sim action in Assetto Corsa. There was a previous kart mod out there, but it was shifter kart based, and it was very unfinished, had no body or anything like that. These are actually very well modeled. 8th place. No, 4th place. You're wrong, game. Okay, well now I have stepped up to the 100cc, and I'm going to try the full track, which I have not really seen yet, so got a little learning to do. Looks like I need to adjust the camera once again. Unfortunately, it's not saving that preference. So let me go to onboard settings. Luckily, it's very easy to change. And if we go up to 12, and you can see the camera is actually placed inside the helmet. If you go back on the... I don't want to change that. I want to change the position. If you go back in position, you'll actually see there's the model of the helmet. There, and maybe let's save it. Need to save. Okay, that's what I was doing. So now it will remember that that's where I want my camera. Let's get out on the track. Let's not go on the grass like that. And let's see what the full track is like. I'm imagining it's going to be significantly faster. The kart itself is not obnoxiously faster. It's not as big of a difference as you may expect, going from the 50cc to the 100cc, and really even the 50cc to the 150cc isn't that dramatic of a change either. It's not as big of a deal, I think, mostly due to the fact you don't really have to worry about tire spin. You're just dealing with more speed at the end of the straightaway to scrub off into the turns. Be a little bit more careful on the brakes. So we're going to go straight here, right hand turn, and now we're building up speed. Oh, too much speed, too much speed. Okay, this is the front stretch here, so that's not too terribly hard of a track to learn, but we're probably going to be taking these things up pretty fast down the front stretch. It's real easy to lock up the rear brakes. You gotta really threshold brake these things. And locking up rear brakes is a very off-putting thing in a vehicle. It's not something you typically experience in a car. But you know, this is the kind of stuff that is great to learn at 60 miles an hour on a track, rather than doing it at 150 in a full-bodied road racing car. So that's why karting is so important. And it really, I think, could help sim racers out as well, kind of learn basic car control while still having fun competitive races. at a much slower and easy to recover speed. And these seem to kind of bracket the handling extremes, as you can see right there. So you get a lot of experience with being right on the edge of control, which is especially helpful if you're going for the kind of open wheel route, because that's a lot what those cars handle like. They teeter right on the edge of being out of control, versus say a GT car or something like that kind of handles in a much more grayscale kind of approach, where it will gradually lose grip and then spin out or do whatever you didn't intend to do. Say IndyCar, F1 car, those they'll feel like they have endless grip right up until the second they don't. And that's pretty much what you feel like with this. What if the AI are not working on this track? Because I've not seen anybody go out for qualifying. Nope, they're all just sitting there. Could be the case. We'll see if they work in the race. If not, this will just be kind of a review of the car. As of right now, I'm on the pole. Imagine that. They're playing some F1 strategy here, going out the last second, letting me put down the rubber. I see them like popping in and out, so they must be trying to get out, and they can't. Okay, well, there's the end of the qualifying, so we'll see if they work in race. Certainly much harder to judge the braking with this one. You pay a big penalty if you scrub off too much speed. Or get on the curves like that. Whoops. Alright, fade to black. Fade to black. Any day now. There we go. Alright, let's see if they work on the track. I'm assuming they will. I think it was just that they don't have the ability to get out of pit road. I know they were struggling with the last one. If I can find my mouse. Let's give it a try. Odds are they're going to be faster than me on the start anyway. Yep. Well, not too bad though. They're making all the sounds as though they're working. Yeah, they're following race lines, so it must just be that they can't get out on track. Let's see if we can stay ahead of them though. That's a tough section right there. Yeah, yep. Cut you off. You can't really tell where you are. I think I like this one more than the little GP track. Let's get it wind out a little better. Gives you more opportunity to pass people in braking zones and whatnot. I don't know how they draft, or if they do draft. And one thing that I was thinking of, as far as stuff you would see in an actual... Whoa. That was bad. Stuff you would see in an actual kart sim, I'd like to see the body kind of move around, because it's a lot like motorcycle racing, where that was bad. Ouch. Where your body mass is actually equal or greater to than the car's mass, karts, whatever, vehicles. Oops. Oh, you actually did mess up there, making a liar out of me. Like I was saying, your body mass is so equal or greater than the vehicle's mass that you can actually affect the way the kart drives just by moving your body around. So it'd be cool to see. Did you just get up on two wheels? It would be cool to see the driver kind of flexing around a little to replicate that. Yeah, he's definitely getting up on two wheels. So the AI might have some issues here. I don't know if he was hitting the curb or what. trying to avoid those inside curbs for such reasons. That's a tough turn. And 65 miles an hour feels a whole lot faster when you're this close to the ground. Closest I've ever come to actually driving something like this, some indoor karting. Get off of me. And those hit about 50. And it really does feel like you're flying at 50 on something this small. Before we end, I've got to try the 150 turbo one. That's got to be insane. Maybe we'll take it out on a big track like the small Silverstone circuit or something. Then I need to get Ducks and Jolo and maybe some other people open up a public server to do some kart racing online, because that could be a whole lot of fun. First place, even though this says 5th. Woo! I don't think karts have reverse either. Alright, here we go. Shifter kart turbo. You can see the little turbo there. And I do mean little. That thing is adorable. Let's see what this is like on the Silverstone International Circuit. Crazy, I believe, is what it's going to be like. Once again, I changed the camera. I will save it for this kart. I have not driven it yet. Go up to about 12. Looks good. That's actually a little too high. I'd like to see the front of the kart. Give me some kind of reference point. AI seem like they're being able to handle it just fine. Holy balls, okay, that's actually a little, well, it's not too bad, but I like it a little bit further. Yeah, I went down to 13. Okay. There we go. Yep, this is gonna be fast. Curious how it's gonna drive different, being able to shift. Maybe not as insanely fast as I had figured or imagined, but I really don't know if you'd want to go much faster than this on a kart. 100 miles an hour is plenty. I think we'll get to see just how the drafting effect is on these guys. This is also a little bit longer of a track than they would normally be on, I assume. See how these brakes work? Yeah, that's the part I figured would be tricky. Just trying to slow down from 100 down to like 30 and not lock up the brakes. Oh, went wide. Not a good start to the lap. Follow Conrad. Whoa, 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 whoa. Steering's a little weird at high speeds. It's so sensitive. I would probably say increasing a dead zone would be helpful. Oh yeah, they're locking up the brakes pretty hard too. All the way down to the turns, it looks like. You can really see just how great the asphalt textures and whatnot and the bump mapping is on a Kuno's track. When you're this close to it. I look back, I'm looking at my nose. Interesting, interesting. 6 gears all we got. Maybe they don't know when to brake. I imagine pretty late. Really close to flat out, actually. Try not shifting next time. A little rev matching helps that become a little bit more bearable. Go! I think I'm getting the hang of it now. Though I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to turn a lap. Or a decent one anyway. Let's see, is this flat? Oh, it's close to it. And under here. Whoa, once again, locking those brakes up. Got really quick reflexes. Oh, great run on the next pitch. Got a nice little group forming up. Oh, it looks like he's drafting. And then he runs out of gear. Okay, let's go in here kind of flat. Oh, it didn't stick, Started bouncing across the track. That's what it's like not having any suspension. They all pit, I think, because they know they didn't have time to finish the lap. Just out of curiosity's sake, I want to finish. Oh, gotta stay off the curb. Curbs are evil. Would have been at 121. We'll look at the times and see how that would have stacked up. Actually, I'm not sure if that counted or not. Alrighty, well, that 121 was in fact a qualifying time, and I'm last. So, gotta pick up some pace here for the race. Hopefully following somebody will help. Kind of give me an idea as to how fast I should be going. Feels though there's going to be a lot of tire spin here. Yep. There was indeed. Maybe I'm letting it rev out a little too long, too. Whoa, 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 everybody slow down there. Those quick little moves to avoid somebody are pretty treacherous. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I don't think it's that kind of go-kart. It's not Adventure Island or whatever it is. Where you go just go-karting with your family and bumping into everybody. Not quite exactly like that. Come on, little kart, go! Let's see if I can make up some time through here. It seems like they were braking a little earlier than me. Just drop the gear, hit the apex, and try and get out of there quicker. Not bad. Gained a little time. I think I'm losing time through there, though. Stay off that curb. And they like to live dangerously, riding right on it. I'm gonna do this flat. Oh, that's scary. It just starts skipping and bouncing against the ground. Oh, that little bit of contact ahead of me scared me. Can't just jump on the brakes. That is not the correct thing to do. I'm not going to get to draft again. I'm really hoping to see how that works. Or if it does. Little dead zone would be nice, because it's very hard to get them to go straight. Especially with the force feedback bouncing around a little bit. That seems like a good line through there. That's about the only turn I'm doing better than them. Oh yeah. It's fun. It's actually, I would say, easier to drive than I expected. Or do you drive these or do you ride these? I'm not sure. It definitely feels like you're more along for the ride than actually in control. little better. Nice! Oh, that was just hanging on there. No! No! Stupid penalties. Oh. Now I've lost control. I was wondering if maybe the tires didn't get overheated or something, because it has totally lost grip. Or maybe going out there and got the tires dirty. Possible. Some people must have had troubles because they were way back there. Yeah, I was feeling good about those passes. Got a little greedy. Can't get greedy with those curves. That is not good. No bueno. Alright, there we go. That is a race. The 150 turbocharged shifter kart. Looks like we came in 16th place. Hey, it was actually right for once. Whew, it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work, but a whole lot of fun. Definitely check out this mod if you have a Assetto Corsa. Another one that's on my must-try list. Okay, let's end off by checking out that awesome pass there and that sequence of events at the end. That didn't end up too well, but it's pretty cool. Racing with these guys through here. So this is where, yeah, they get a little tangled up. Slide down the inside, getting it sideways. You can see it just bouncing along. It really does feel like that through the steering as well. Then into here, just too wide. Oh, it actually picked the wheels off the ground, and out we go. Oh yeah, that's no wonder it felt like it was sliding all over the place. I went through the dirt. Alrighty, well, that's gonna do it for this time on Assetto Corsa. Thanks as always for watching. I'll see you next time.